You don't do? Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, board members of the board of States. Welcome to press briefly of the Kenya Rugby Union. I'd like to welcome the KRU chairman, Francis Ndabe, who will give us a many remarks and introduction of his fellow board members.
Good afternoon, members of the Fourth Estate. Madam Chairperson, Harriet Okatch, since I've been asked to introduce the rest of the board members, I'll introduce our boss lady, Madam Harriet Okatch, Honorary Secretary, Reolendo, Director Fixtures on my far left, Leslie Mangale, Director Squads, the big man of squads, Engineer Moses Nkabane, and of course, our able CEO, Mr. Thomas Odundo. I think at this juncture, I'll ask Madam Chairperson to talk to the media and the Fourth Estate for us to move. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, members of the Fourth Estate. Welcome to Kenya Rugby Union, famously known as the Containers. I'll just go ahead and read. First and foremost, I'm honored to accept the appointment as the chairperson of Kenya Rugby Union. And I'm humbled and promise to serve with humility and commitment. I would also like to thank our former chairman, Alexander Sasha Mutai, for his service, and we wish him well in his future endeavors. We would also like to thank Rugby Africa and World Rugby. They've been really supportive throughout the wrangles. They've stayed committed in supporting our brand, which is the playing team. We don't take that for granted. We will still depend on them to ensure that we put in the right structures when it comes to governance. Yeah, a lot of people have made noise about our constitution. So that is something we've been working together with them. For me, this transition, it's sort of like a fresh chapter. Yeah, it doesn't mean everything starts from the beginning. We promise to continue to follow the strategic plan which we'd already had already been adopted by our affiliates last year to the latter. But now we are going to have a renewed focus on good governance, inclusivity, and rugby development. Yeah. When it comes to development side, most of you know about the Eric Shirley Shield. That is going to be transitioned to be an under 20 competition within the Kenya Cup. Yeah, it has been approved and it's going to be adopted from next season. Yeah, beginning at the end of the year. Why is that? Because most of you have seen how Chipu performed, not just last year, this year. However, there's a gap because they don't get a lot of playtime. We don't get a lot of. We have to go to the club to be able to call up under 20 players. With the under 20 league, it then means that we are able to pull them all together and be able to just fill in the gap on national call-up. There's been a lot of talk on our governance and constitutional reforms. I'd like to say that we actually have a new constitution that was um, circulated to our stakeholders, both the affiliates, the member clubs, and stakeholders. It's been ready since last year, December. However, we are committed to having it adopted by the affiliates within the next 60 days. You'll definitely be invited to come and witness that occasion. Our new constitution sort of takes away the power from the board and cascades it down up to the stakeholders and to the grassroots level. So it's going to be one that no one person has more power than the next. It's going to be all inclusive, and I think it's going to really help us move towards transparency, accountability, and decentralization. Yeah. So for us today, we are here to invite all our stakeholders from the clubs to the coaches, to the playing unit, our fans, our sponsors, the media, to support these reforms that we are going to introduce within the next 60 days. We are striving to build a more inclusive, competitive, and professionally run rugby environment in Kenya. And as Harriet, I pledge to have my leadership anchored on collaboration, development, and integrity. Yes. So at this moment, we've been laying the groundwork. Yes, the wrangles have taken away from the game. But as we sit here, we are united as a board. That is what we want to tell you. We are united as a board. We've had a working secretariat who have a more than experienced director of rugby and CEO. A lot of the work, even when you see with sponsors, it's been them handling. We get the sponsors, they're the ones who close because they're the ones who run the day to day management of the game. So that is what we want to focus on to make the game better. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I think perhaps maybe just to add what Madam Chair Lady, the boss lady, has just said is that sorry, or the come again. Good to go. I think just to add what Madam Boss lady has just said is more of we are in constant discussion with World Rugby. As I also sit in Rugby Africa committee level, whereby all these things we are looking at talking with them and trying as much as possible to get their support in whichever way we can. And I believe so far we are doing well. So I believe we will be having a meeting with World Rugby soon on this discussion of what we need to do from now on henceforth. And to be honest, our ladies team are in Madagascar at the moment. Our men's Shuja team are going to Mauritius within 2 weeks. Next week, they're going to Mauritius next week. We really need positive vibes. Yes, there are angles also Simba's, of course, Simba's in Cape Town, preparing for the World Cup qualifiers, which will be in Uganda. And believe me, what we in Rugby Africa, what we've done so far is to ensure that at least this tournament never goes again to where it went to out of our own continent. And that's the reason we are happy to have it in Uganda and to ensure that our boys perform well. You see, Uganda is just our next door neighbors. At the end of the day, we expect you, Fourth Estate, push the positive vibe, our fans to go down to Uganda, at least push our boys. Because I believe, and I believe the board, we as a team, we believe that this is our year and our team should be able to take us to the next level of rugby. So we really need positive vibes. Yes, there's so many things on the outside there, but I believe there are different agencies that are handling that. Thank you so much. And I believe, Madam Chair might add something or.
No. I don't want to add anything. I just want to ask the other members of the board if they have anything else, comments, anything else I want to say.
Secretary.
Say your name again.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and the member for the state, my fellow board members. Just want to say one thing that, and this basically a plea to our fans and our stakeholders. You, the fans, you, the for the state, you are our brand ambassadors. You're the one who sell out this game outside there. Without you, Karu will not exist. Without you, the players will not exist. What you say, what you do is what promotes this game. And how we support this board going forward will determine whether we'll achieve our set targets or not. So this is just my humble plea that we basically rally behind Madam Chair, and let's realize the good for the game as we go forward. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much. For me, it's just to add on to what my board members, my fellow board members have said, and especially just to welcome the warmth of our new chair that has brought a new vibration in the board, and we can assure you that we're going to perform. This is the last lap, and I feel and I know that the last lap is the strongest lap that we need to do, and we are committed to this. And for me, as the chairman of squads, is just to give you the specifics of what we are doing out there with our squads. All our squads are actually on a busy season. This weekend, actually today in the next 30 minutes at 1, we are going to be having our Lionesses facing a very tough side. We are facing South Africa. And those are our arch rivals in terms of women rugby, and we are wishing our women a good game today. And I just want to encourage all of us also, if you can get online, please watch our women and support them and then cheer them on. On Saturday, we are going to also have a friendly with the under 20 South Africa as well, playing with the Simbas down in South Africa. It's been a whole month of camp before, it's a pre is a preparation camp for the World Cup qualifiers that are going to be in July. And we really just want to also thank the Ministry of Sports, who have been really supportive, and all our other partners who have been supportive with us, just to make sure that this is possible for our players. And we also have Morans, as the Vice Chairman said, they're traveling next week on Thursday. They're going to Mauritius for an assignment as well. So all is just to have a rallying call to all our fans and the fourth estate and all of us. Let's rally behind these teams. And as I think Madam Vice Chair said it very well yesterday in oh, Madam Chair, Madam Chair, Madam Chair said it, that we need to really realize who is the product. The product is the players, and really focus on just whatever we say, whatever we promote. Let's ask ourselves if it's really promoting the players. And that is it from me. Thank you very much.
We'll welcome 2 quick questions so that you can release all of us to go support the Lionesses. So, please, Roy.
We talked of right, positive, negative. But indeed, the outside has positive. Right. What is happening with negative vibes that have been done? You can't run away from that. There are so many allegations. We are here because of something. Changes has happened. Have happened. And the former chairman came up with so many allegations. You guys, they have done Donald Ndale and the SG also came up with allegations. We can't wish them away. What is happening now? Because people need to know. They can't wish those allegations away. We need to know. People need to know the dear lady still the place that how can people stick it as the gospel that it's a fresh start when those allegations they don't know what has happened. So the chairman has left obstruction. So they need to know the state of union.
Do you want them to put that?
Sure. Oh, you didn't take it.
Thank you for your question.
Sure.
There have been quite a series of allegations back and forth. But we want to assure you that some of those allegations will be giving a substantive written statement to answer them and backed up with the documents that will answer them in totality. We were trying to avoid an issue of also being a hearsay responding to the issues that have been put on social media. But we'll tell you that today, what we stand for is transparency as a board. And as much as those allegations have been done, that there's some that are being handled the relevant agencies that have and are doing the investigations. And we as a board, we are fully cooperating with those agencies. I hope I've answered your question. Are you satisfied?
So which are these agencies? Well, we have yes. With
Yes.
Okay.
So far, we have another resignation from the board. So we really can't see all is fresh.
Okay, may I answer that? I'll take on the question regarding, I think one of the most glaring thorns is that would annoy most people, even myself included, would be the one on misappropriation of funds. That already got DCI involved and not us. So we were summoned as Kenya Rugby Union and requested to submit documents for specific periods. Those documents were submitted in person, and different people have been called in just from within the board, starting from the CEO to answer various questions. So we are waiting. We're just waiting. Whoever they need, they'll call. Whatever documents they've wanted, even after that, they've been presented with. And we will continue to cooperate with them. On the issue of, what was the other one? Resignation. I don't think we should really call that a resignation because that's a co-opted board member. And they had a term limit of 2 years, which then the board would be free to extend for another year or not. Yeah. So, yes, the letter that leaked out was written that she has resigned, but it should have been that she is letting us know that she's no longer interested in being a board member. And it's her right as a person, isn't it?
With that in mind, when can we expect this? I know it's often, but when can we expect that point?
So we are yet to even have a board meeting this month because of obvious reasons. We had the SGM, the AGM, then the special board meeting that had to appoint a chairperson. So we all agreed to sit down next week. Our board meetings are usually the second Monday of every month. So next week we should be able to deliberate on that. What happens with co-option? It has to be somebody who adds value to the sport. Yeah. And they also need to send in their request or CVs. And then the board sits down and goes through them, discusses, and make a decision. So even if we are not able to fill it in on Monday, at least by the following board meeting, we should be able to have interviewed and narrowed down to which people are joining the board. As it is, we actually have two slots for co-option. Okay.
I like to hear from and the fourth out is really messy. It's great. So how that's under leadership will be how the members support care development of the rugby fraternity. How are you going to build that confidence going forward?
Okay. First of all, I would have really loved to avoid, bringing up anything to do with the former chairman because I mean he resigned. Yeah, he chose to resign at an SGM, and if you followed the wrangles closely, then you realize he was on one side and the rest of the board was on the other side. Meaning, those of us who are left here have remained united. So nothing really is going to change much, except now it's a woman who's going to be sort of in charge of this man. And and we women, we are able to, we are your weakness. You understand? So if I'm not able to cajole them into buying into some of the things that we discuss as a board, then we'll come to an understanding. Yeah. Not everybody has got, we don't have to be friends to work. We just have to deliver what we promised our affiliates and the players, plus the stakeholders. So, to be honest, if somebody is not willing to be a team player, I'll just say it here. And that is something we've always said within the board. If you're not willing to be a team player, if you're not willing to focus on the matter at hand, then you're also free to just resign. You don't have to force your ideas or your whatever it is you want us to do. It has to be your way or the highway. That's not because at the board we are all leaders, one way or the other. So leadership dictates that you're somebody who's able to retreat and re-strategize. It does not mean you force your ideas down the throats of people. It needs to be about the majority and what's important, which is the growth of the game and selling this brand positively. So I can assure you, the rest of us, we are united. The only way we can be able to show you that is when you see our teams performing. There's no um there's nothing taking away from them focusing on the game. Yeah, most of our team of our players are Gen Z, so obviously they're on social media. We are not lost to the fact that they're reading all these things, and we can't say how it's affecting them. So it's for the board to make sure we stick together and elevate them to the global stage that they deserve. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sorry?
Any contacts?
No. Uh, what I can say is, with everything that's been going on, we have kept them updated from the board side. We've kept them updated. And any sponsor who wasn't comfortable dealing with, let's say, the commercial director when I was commercial or the chairperson, then the board did a resolution for the CEO to be the one to handle so that there's that continuity too. Yeah.
I think, sorry, Madam Chair, I think just to add is more of we are ensuring as a board to ensure that the secretariat is works on its own, and our work is just policies. So you'll find that most of the communication that goes out to you, we go through the CEO and discuss with our instances. I think that's what you're trying to do as a board to avoid also the breakdown between the teams who are outside. We don't want to micromanage our secretary, basically. And rugby is about teamwork. And the way Madam Chair just said, we at the board level now is more of teamwork, because rugby you can't play alone. It's not a one-man sport. We've all played rugby. And now she's our captain. So we have to support.
And just to add, the motion that was discussed at the SGM, you saw where it came from. So it's not like the board is one that had an issue. It's the affiliates who felt the need to bring about change. And they didn't say that they were going to actually remove the person. They put in a motion so that people are able to discuss, agree to work together, or, so.
Mine goes to Mr. Olandi. So Olandi, my name is Panda. And after we're talking about positive vibes. How exactly are we supposed to have positive vibes when the leader, the board, are under investigation from different agencies? How are the people supposed to believe that you can bring positive vibes? And even the players as well, how are they supposed to trust that your leadership will propel you? Also, Chairperson, even that you can explain the outline of the agenda for rugby development, the future of the federation of leaders, which is mainly spoken about the New York Constitution, about the power will go
And that means
in order than the last collective. But really, what are the details of it? How both what the last collective?
so you said Orlando, but you're looking at him. So he is Moses Dale.
You want to learn?
Do you want Dale? Oh, okay.
Darling. um, I think for me, the accusations that are there, especially if the ones that have touched me, if I may say, I've never been arrested. So whoever say that I was arrested, tickets, I don't know where I got that story. Companies which are pulled there, I'm not a shareholder. So, and the reason why I say sometimes it's not a matter of what you read. It's sometimes good to have the facts that are there. So I'll not react to those kind of issues that are not um, basically true. Okay. So if there's an OB that I was arrested selling tickets, to be honest, lack of a better word, it's below my pay grade, to be honest.
Mr. Day,
You asked two questions. I've not even answered what you asked me.
Mr. Day, how are you supposed to, how do you have that confidence to lead the board and to assure the player that and the fans that the board is in good hands when more often than not, the people are there with you compared to inform you under that partner. Yes. As a whole, does that weigh in?
Thank you for your question. One of the main issues that we've always associated the word cartel with the groupings of gangs and all that. I want to believe I'm none of that. I'm nowhere near that. I've always believed in a situation that you convince your board members and agree on an issue. And if you're able to convince them and they side with you, that will carry the day. I don't think that's a big cartel. But if that is so, then I'm a cartel.
Two questions, please. Loudly for camera, please. First, a rugby question for Director of Sport. The announcement that ESS is now going to be an under 21s tournament. Is that under 20? Is that how was that decision made? How did that come about? Is that a positive move for our sport, especially as we see limited pathways for players from high school, limited pathways for them to play rugby at the highest level by restricting ESS to under 20s? I think it disenfranchises hundreds of players that are currently playing rugby who would not be able to make their first team. sports. So that's a rugby question. And Madam Chair, good to have you here. Um, interested in your personal threshold. You've mentioned that there are issues that are being dealt with agencies. If any of your members are adversely mentioned in any of those investigations, at what point will you ask them to step aside? Is the threshold that they have to be arrested? Is the threshold that they're adversely mentioned? What's the standard that you'd like to set for your board in terms of integrity?
Yeah. So thanks, thank you very for that question. So I will just answer it in this way. The genesis of this move was actually domiciled in the clubs. So and why we actually moved that kind of moved to that direction was many of the ESS fixtures were being, we had a lot of walkovers on that. And you see, clubs would have a burden. Not all clubs would be able to take two teams in every weekend for a game. And it's being over time, over 3 years, ESS was kind of watered down in terms of there was so many walkovers and all that. So we were just thinking together with the clubs, not just the board, but together with the clubs to see how can we now even make ESS not like a dying horse, but something that can revigorate into something more interesting and more relevant to the times that we have now. As you can see, we have a very vibrant under 20 team, and there is a tournament, there is a pathway on that line. So with that in mind, we say, look, the ESS, we can make it a hybrid, not just only under 20, but we can also have an allowance of maybe around 5 to 6 players of the senior players. Having it in mind, like the ESS is also kind of a depth squad for for the senior teams in Kenya Cup. So, but then now, where these young players also can fit in and have a place where they can be able to develop, yeah, and together is a transition between the older players transitioning into the senior players, then having now the Kenya Cup having now as a senior team. So it is not only just the under 20s in the ESS, but will also allow a wiggle room for the other players who are over that age. So I think that is just what I would say. And also, it's not final. We will keep on improving. So probably we'll invite also good ideas from yourselves. And I know you're a rugby man. We'll keep on just making it much better and, have the products that can really serve the game at the current situations.
Monetary support.
Monetary support, and I think you see the way we'll structure it is going also to assist reduce the burden to the clubs, because it is now a product that we are packaging it, and I believe with the way we are packaging it, it will become more lucrative, even now in terms of sponsorships and all that. When you're bringing in the under 20 angle and how the under 20 pathway is structured, you see, you can almost see that now is becoming to be a more palatable product for even sponsorship and partners. But for now, it's just now in the formative stage, and probably in the near future we'll be able to report on that.
Will it be divided in results?
Yeah. For now, it is still a kind of a Kenya Cup product. You see, it's the Kenya Cup teams that have the ESS sides. Yeah. So in terms of the zoning and all that, those are now discussions, the final discussions that we want to have now with the clubs and see now how do we operationalize. Okay. So the operational side of it, anything new, you always have to, boil it down to now probably this is kind of you can say it's a corporate strategy, and we take it down to the functional. Maybe if you understand the language, then we can be able to discuss more. But that is where we're headed. We'll now boil it down to the functional and see how we will operationalize. Yeah, thank you.
Perhaps Madam Chair can answer down this question and then we're done for the day.
Thank you. That one day.
It's also for last
and also where the resolutions passed during the SGM that conducted, because I remember some of us came here who were declined from covering the SGM, in as much as it might be confidential, but there are some interests in the meeting that was so vital to them.
So yeah, but the SGM doesn't make any resolutions because you only discuss what's on the agenda and that's it. Hmm? Yeah, but for the AGM, which was immediately after, we will share the minutes. They'll even be uploaded offline. So you'll be able to see what the resolutions, the affiliates, and the board came up with. On matters, what was your question? My threshold. I'm a great believer in, as Harriet, I'm a great believer in one being innocent until proven guilty. But as a board, we are also guided by our board charter and constitution. The minute somebody is accused and arrested or charged, then they know they must step aside, they must resign. So we will follow that. The minute they are formally charged, then they must resign. Thank you very much.
All of them will be there.
There, everything is online now when it comes to the AG. Oh, the last audit. It was this year. This year.
Up to how year?
March.
Thank you. So, asanteni sana. Yeah, positive vibes.
Okay.
Maana